It was a cold, dark evening in the city. Cars passed quickly on the road, people rushed home to warm dinners, and the sky above was covered with clouds. But in a small, quiet alley behind a busy diner, a man named Sam sat alone. Sam was homeless. He wore an old brown coat with torn sleeves. His shoes had holes in them, his beard was long, and his hands were always cold. Every night, he sat by a trash can fire with a few other homeless men. But tonight, he was alone. He didn't complain. He never did. This alley had been his home. For years, sometimes, kind people gave him food. Other times, he ate from the trash. But Sam was not angry at the world. He had lost everything, but he had not lost his heart. As he rubbed his hands together near the small fire, he suddenly stopped. He heard something. At first it was soft, like a cat. Then it became clearer. A child. Someone was crying. Sam stood up quickly. His ears listened carefully. The crying came from deeper in the alley, near the old dumpster behind the diner. He walked slowly toward the sound. His boots crunched on the gravel. He turned the corner and stopped. There, sitting on the ground next to the dumpster, was a small boy. He couldn't be more than 8 years old. He wore thin clothes and had no jacket. His cheeks were red from the cold. Tears ran down his face. As he hugged his knees to his chest, Sam's heart tightened. Hey, easy now, he said in a soft voice. Are you okay? The boy looked up fast, scared. He didn't answer. He just stared at Sam with wide eyes, like a frightened animal. Sam took a step back and raised his hands slowly. It's okay, kid. I won't hurt you, I promise. The boy didn't move. Are you lost? Sam asked gently. The boy shook his head. Where are your parents? Sam asked. The boy looked down and whispered something so quiet, Sam had to kneel to hear it. They told me not to come back. Sam blinked. What? They told me to go away and not come back home. For a moment, Sam didn't know what to say. He had seen a lot on these streets, people yelling, people fighting, people begging, but never this. What's your name, kid? Sam asked. Leo. Well, Leo, I'm Sam. Leo didn't answer. Sam took off his coat. He was cold, too, but the boy was freezing. He wrapped the coat around Leo's shoulders and sat beside him. Are you hungry? Sam asked. Leo nodded. Sam opened his bag and took out a sandwich someone had given him earlier. He had planned to eat it for dinner. Instead, he handed it to the boy. Leo took it slowly, like he wasn't used to kindness. He ate in silence, and Sam watched him closely. Something was very wrong. They sat together for over an hour. Leo didn't talk much. Sam didn't push. But when the wind got colder, Sam stood up. Come on, Leo. I know a place we can stay tonight. It's warmer than this. Leo looked scared. Is it far? Not too far. Just an old bus I use when it rains. No one bothers us there. Leo hesitated, then nodded. Sam helped him up, and they walked through the dark streets together. A homeless man and a lost child. Two strangers. Two broken lives, walking side by side. The bus was parked behind an empty warehouse. It was old, dirty, and smelled like rust. But it was dry and had thick blankets Sam had collected over time. Leo sat on one of the seats. Sam gave him a blanket and lit a small candle for light. It's not much, Sam said, but it's better than the cold alley. Leo looked around. He seemed a little more calm now. Why are you helping me? He asked. Sam smiled softly. Because someone once helped me, when I didn't deserve it. Leo stared at the candle. Do you live here? Sometimes? Other times I sleep outside. Don't you have a house? I used to, long time ago. What happened? Sam paused. That's a long story. I like stories, Leo said. Sam looked at him for a moment, then sat down beside him. Once I had a good job, a family, a home. I worked in construction. One day I stood up for someone who was being treated badly. I thought I was doing the right thing. Leo listened closely, but the man I stood against had power. He made sure I lost my job. After that, everything fell apart, and no one helped you. No one believed me. I ended up here. That was 10 years ago. Leo looked down. I believe you. Sam smiled. Thanks, kid. For a moment, the bus was quiet. Then Leo whispered, Can I stay with you, just for a little while? Sam didn't hesitate. Of course. He looked at the child, so small, so scared, and in that moment, he knew. He wasn't going to let this boy suffer like he had. Not now. Not ever. But Sam had no idea who Leo really was, or what secret the boy was hiding. What? Leo would say tomorrow would change everything, forever. The sun rose slowly over the city, painting the sky with soft orange and gray. Inside the old broken bus behind the warehouse, Sam woke first. He sat quietly, watching the small boy named Leo sleep curled up in a blanket. The night had been cold, but Leo didn't cry once after they arrived. He just held onto Sam's coat like it was the only thing left in the world he could trust. Sam rubbed his face, trying to shake off the stiffness in his body. His back ached from the metal seat, but he didn't complain. He had slept through many worse nights, but something about this one felt different, because he wasn't alone, and that meant something. A few minutes later, Leo slowly opened his eyes. His hair was messy, and his face still showed signs of fear, but his voice was calm. Are we safe here? Sam nodded. Yes, no one comes here but me. You're safe, Leo, I promise. Leo sat up, wrapping the blanket tighter. Do you live here every night? Most nights. Yes. Aren't you scared? Sam gave a quiet smile. Used to be, but after a while, fear gets tired. It leaves you alone. Leo didn't fully understand, but he nodded anyway. Then, for the first time, he smiled back. Small, tired, smile, but it meant the world. Later that morning, Sam found a kind lady at the diner who gave him some leftover biscuits. He took 2 and wrapped 1 in paper for Leo. When he returned to the bus, Leo was sitting by the window, hugging his knees and staring out at the broken street. Sam handed him the food. Here, eat while it's still warm. Leo took it with a quiet thank you. They ate together in silence for a while. Then Sam asked gently, So, Leo, can you tell me what happened? Leo froze. He looked down at his biscuit. I don't want to go back home, okay? Sam said. You don't have to, but I want to understand. Maybe I can help. Leo was quiet for a long time. Then he whispered, My mom. She used to smile, all the time. She called me her little star. Sam nodded slowly. And now? Now she doesn't smile. Ever. She cries at night when she thinks I'm sleeping. Sam's heart sank. Leo's hands shook as he continued. She got married again. His name is Rick. He doesn't like me. He yells at me and tells me I'm weak. He tells Mom I'm just a problem. Did he ever hurt you? Sam asked. Careful. Leo didn't speak, but he slowly lifted his shirt. On his side was a dark purple bruise. Sam clenched his jaw. Did your mom know? Leo nodded. I told her once, but she said we just have to keep him calm. That we shouldn't make him angry, and your real dad. He left when I was 3. There was silence between them now. Only the sound of wind brushing the sides of the bus. Sam finally said, Leo, no one should hurt you. Not ever. That's not your fault. Do you hear me? Leo nodded again. His voice was small. But if I tell anyone, they'll send me away. Sam's brow furrowed. Who told you that, Rick? He said if I speak to the police or a teacher, they'll take me far away. I'll live in a place with strangers, and I'll never see my mom again. Sam closed his eyes for a moment, trying to stay calm. He knew what fear could do to a child, and this boy had lived with fear for too long. Leo, Sam said gently, I used to think silence would keep me safe too, but it doesn't. It just keeps the bad things going. You don't have to be quiet anymore. You have me now. Leo looked at him with tired eyes. Why are you helping me? Sam gave a soft smile. Because someone once helped me when I was broken, and because I see myself in you. That night, they stayed in the bus again. Leo asked Sam to tell him a story, not a scary one, a good one. So Sam told him about when he was a boy. I used to live near the sea, he said. Every evening, I'd run to the shore with my little sister. We'd skip stones on the water until the sun went down. That sounds nice, Leo said softly. It was, Sam replied. We didn't have much, but we had peace. Leo closed his eyes. I wish I could see the sea. Sam reached into his old backpack and pulled out something smaller, tiny, smooth rock, blue and gray. Here, he said. A piece of it. I've kept it all these years. Leo held the stone carefully like it was treasure. It's warm, he whispered. Sam smiled. That's because it remembers the sun. As Leo drifted to sleep, Sam sat by the window and looked out into the night. He knew now that this was no ordinary boy, and this was no small favor. He had taken in a child carrying a heavy secret, and now he had a choice: walk away, or do something, even if it meant risking everything again. He looked at the sleeping boy, and made his choice. No one's taking you back to that house, kid. Not on my watch. The morning was quiet. Inside the broken bus, Sam watched over Leo, who was still sleeping under a thick blanket. Outside, the city was waking up. Buses honked. People hurried down sidewalks, and the world moved on like it always did. But Sam knew something had changed, not just for him, but for Leo too, because when a child runs from home with fear in his eyes, there's always more to the story, and Sam was finally ready to hear it. A few hours later, Leo woke up and rubbed his eyes. Sam handed him a small paper cup of warm tea. It's not the best, Sam said, but it helps. Leo took it and sipped. Slowly. Then he said something Sam didn't expect. I think he was going to hurt my mom. Sam froze. Leo nodded. His voice shook. Last week, I heard him yelling. I peeked through the door. He pushed her down. She was bleeding. Did she call for help? No. She begged him to stop. Then he saw me watching. He stared at me like I was nothing. Sam clenched his jaw. Did he hit you again? Leo looked away. He didn't have to. I ran before he could. I packed a piece of bread, the photo of my mom, and left. Sam took a deep breath, trying to calm the storm rising inside him. You were very brave, Leo. I know it was scary, but you did the right thing. Leo looked up. Do you think she's okay? Sam nodded gently. We're going to find out. But first, we keep you safe. Later that day, Sam took Leo to a public bathroom near the bus station. It was quiet and mostly clean. He helped Leo wash his face and hair. Then he gave him a second shirt he had saved, a little big, but dry and warm. When Leo looked in the mirror, he looked like a different kid, still tired, still small, but stronger. Sam smiled. You clean up good, kid. Leo grinned. Thanks, Dad. The word slipped out by accident. Both froze. Leo's eyes widened. I didn't mean, but Sam smiled again, his eyes glassy. It's okay, I didn't mind. Back at the bus, Sam opened a small metal box he had hidden behind his seat. Inside were old photos, a notebook, and something wrapped in cloth. What's that? Leo asked. Sam carefully unwrapped it, revealing a rusty key. This used to be the key to my old storage locker. I kept it hidden, just in case. What's inside? A few things I couldn't carry. Some papers, an old phone. Sam looked serious now. Leo, I think it's time we go there. We need help, but not from the police. Not yet. Leo was quiet. Do you think Rick is looking for me? Sam nodded slowly. Yes. People like him don't like losing control. And now that you're gone, he's probably angry. Leo looked scared. Will he hurt my mom again? That's why we need to act fast. They walked to the storage building across town. Sam hadn't been there in years, but the key still worked. Inside the dusty locker were a few blankets, boxers, and an old backpack. Sam searched quickly, then pulled out a worn cell phone and a plastic folder. Inside were papers from his past old work IDs, letters, and a photo of a man in a suit. That's him, Sam said, showing the photo to Leo. Rick. Yeah, he was my boss once. I reported him for hurting someone at work, a young woman, but no one believed me. Leo stared at the picture. I think he changed. His name. Sam's eyes narrowed. What do you mean? My mom said she met him as Ronnie, but I saw a letter once in the trash. It said Richard. Same handwriting, same man. Sam felt a chill. He's hiding something, Leo, and you may have just found the truth. That night, Sam used the old phone to call a friend from long ago, a woman named Nina, who worked with a small community newspaper she'd picked up after the second ring. Sam, is that you? Yeah, it's me. I need your help. It's been years. What's going on? Sam didn't wait. There's a boy. His name's Leo. He ran from an abusive home. The man his stepdaddy's, Rick Grayson. Remember? Him. There was silence on the other end. Then Nina said, I remember. You tried to warn us years ago, and now there's proof. Bring him to me. I'll help. As Sam ended the call, Leo looked at him nervously. Are we going to be okay? Sam nodded. We're not alone anymore, kid, but we have to be careful. What if Rick finds us first? Sam reached into the box and pulled out a flashlight and a small metal tool. Then he'll wish he hadn't. Leo smiled weakly. Sam placed a hand on his shoulder. You're not just a kid anymore, Leo. You're a survivor. And together we're going to end this. Leo nodded, but he believed him. Because for the first time in his life, someone believed in him. But the danger was far from over, because Rick was already looking. And he had friends in powerful places. Rain poured outside like the sky itself. Was crying. Inside the small, dusty storage locker, Sam and Leo sat huddled under a thick blanket. The old metal roof creaked as water dripped through holes. Thunder rumbled in the distance. But the storm outside wasn't the only one they had to worry about. Rick won't stop, Sam said quietly. Men like him never do. Leo nodded. He was holding something in his hand. It was a small, folded photo. The same one he had carried from the night he ran away. I want to show you something, Leo said softly. He opened the photo carefully and placed it in Sam's hand. It was a picture of Leo's mom, standing in front of a house. She was smiling, but her smile didn't reach her eyes. And just behind her, barely in the frame, stood Rick. But Sam's eyes didn't focus on Rick's face. They focused on something else. A small tattoo on Rick's neck, barely visible. A number and a symbol. Sam's heart stopped. He knew that tattoo. He had seen it before, and it wasn't just a random mark. It belonged to a dangerous group, one that operated in silence, controlling people with fear, money, and violence. Where did you get this? Sam asked. I found it in my mom's drawer. She didn't know I took it. Sam stared at the photo again. Leo, this man is worse than we thought. Leo swallowed. You know that tattoo? Sam nodded. I saw it years ago. When I worked in construction, a man with the same mark threatened one of my coworkers after she refused something personal. What happened to her? She disappeared. No one saw her again. Did you tell anyone? I did. I reported it. And then, I lost everything. My job, my home, my name. Sam looked at Leo, his eyes burning with truth. This man isn't just an angry stepdad, he's part of something much bigger. Later that day, they made their way across town. They wore raincoats Sam had found in the locker. Leo kept his hood up and walked close. They didn't speak much, but their eyes were watching everything. Every shadow, every car, every face. Because they knew someone might already be looking for them. When they reached the community newspaper building, Sam knocked 3 times on the back door. A woman in her late 40s opened it. Her hair was short, her eyes sharp. Sam, she said, pulling him into a hug. You look older. So do you, Nina. This is the boy, Leo. Come inside. Nina sat them down in her small office. The walls were covered with newspaper clippings, photos, and notes. A small space heater buzzed in the corner. Tell me everything, she said. Sam spoke first, explaining Leo's story, the bruises, the fear, and the photo. When he showed her the picture, Nina's eyes narrowed. I know, that symbol, she whispered. I did a story on a man with that tattoo 2 years ago. He was arrested for illegal money transfers. The charges were dropped, quietly. Rick's part of it, Sam said. I'm sure. And you think the mother is in danger? Yes, we need to help her, but we also need to protect. Leonina stood up and walked to a filing cabinet. She pulled out a file marked confidential and placed it on the table. Inside were printed photos, reports, and police records. Some of these names match the names I found tied to Rick's construction company, so it's real, Sam said. It's real, Nina confirmed, and it's dangerous. That evening, Sam and Leo stayed in Nina's guest room. Above the office. It wasn't fancy, but it was warm, dry, and safe. Leo looked out the window at the city lights. What if he finds us? He won't, Sam replied. Not here. I want to go back, but only if I can take Mom away too. Sam sat beside him. Then that's what we'll do. Leo turned toward him. Promise. Sam placed a hand on his shoulder. I promise, son. The next morning, Nina returned with news. I made a few calls, quiet ones. There's a retired officer who owes me a favor. He's willing to meet off the record. Can we trust him? Sam asked. He hates corruption. If anyone can help, it's him. Then let's meet him. Before they left, Nina handed Sam a small camera and a voice recorder. Get something on tape. Get a confession, a threat, anything. We need real proof if we want the police or the media to move. Sam nodded. Leo looked nervous, but he was ready because, this time, he wasn't running. He was fighting back. The sky was heavy with clouds as Sam and Leo waited at the edge of a quiet park. Sam's coat was zipped up. Leo held a small bag, and the photo of his mother was tucked safely in his pocket. They were waiting to meet Officer Daniels, the retired cop Nina trusted. Leo was quiet. He looked at the empty swings, then at Sam. You said you lost everything because of Rick. What really happened? Sam looked at the boy. He didn't speak for a few seconds. Then he took a deep breath. All right, kid. You deserve to know. And so, for the first time in years, Sam told the whole truth. 10 years ago, Sam had a job. He worked at a big construction site, good pay, long hours, hard work, but he liked it. He had a small apartment, a car, and friends. One of his co-workers was a young woman named Angela. She was smart, strong, and never afraid to speak her mind. She and Sam became friends. They ate lunch together, shared stories, and helped each other on the job. One day, Angela came to work with a cut on her lip and tears in her eyes. Sam noticed right away. What happened? He asked. Angela hesitated, then said, Rick, the boss. He cornered me in the office. He touched me. When I pushed him away, he hit me. Sam couldn't believe it. Rick was the manager. Clean suit, sharp smile, always laughing in front of the workers, but behind closed doors, he was a monster. Sam told her they had to report him. Angela was scared. He's powerful. They won't believe us. I need this job. But Sam wouldn't let it go. He walked straight into the office and confronted Rick himself. Leave her alone. I know what you did. Rick didn't even flinch. He leaned back in his chair and smiled. You're a good worker, Sam. Don't ruin that over a silly lie. It's not a lie. Rick's smile vanished. Think carefully before you go further. I can make life very hard for you. But Sam wasn't afraid. He filed a report. He gave a written statement. He even convinced Angela to do the same. And for a moment, he thought they had one. A week later, Angela was gone. She didn't show up to work. Her phone didn't answer. No one knew where she went. Some said she moved away. Others said she just disappeared. Sam tried to find her, but no one helped. No police. No news. 2 days after that, Sam was fired. They said he broke company rules. Then came the letters, bad recommendations, false records. When he tried to get a new job, doors shut in his face. His savings ran out. His apartment was taken, and slowly, he fell through the cracks. I went from being a worker, Sam said quietly, to being just another man on the street. Leo was silent. That's how Rick works, Sam said. He hides behind money, behind power. But deep down, he's still a coward. And now he's hurting my mom, Leo whispered. That's why we can't stop. Not now. Just then, a man approached the park bench. He wore an old police jacket and had a kind but tired face. You, Sam? Yeah. Name's Daniels. Nina sent me. They shook hands. Daniels looked at Leo and gave him a small nod. You all right, son? Leo nodded. Barely. Let's talk, Daniels said. They sat on the bench and Sam told him everything. Leo's bruises, the photo, the tattoo, the past. Daniels listened closely. I remember Rick Grayson, he finally said. Slick guy. Used to pop up in some quiet investigations. Always walked away clean. Can you help us? Sam asked. Off the record? Yes. But legally, you need more. Sam pulled out the camera Nina gave him. Then we'll get more. We'll go back. I'll face him. Daniels looked shocked. That's risky. I don't care. I won't let this boy go through what I did. Daniels nodded. You've got guts, Sam. Just be smart. He handed Sam a small pin. It's a hidden mic. Push this button. If he says anything dangerous, we'll have it. Sam nodded. Thank you. Daniels looked at Leo. You're a brave kid, and you've got a good man by your side. Leo smiled faintly. He saved me. Daniel stood. Be careful, and if anything goes wrong call Nina, I'll be nearby. He left. Sam looked at Leo. Are you ready? Leo took a deep breath. I want to protect my mom, even if it's scary. Sam gave him a proud smile. Then we'll do this together. That night, they prepared. Sam charged the camera and hid the mic inside his shirt. Leo wrote down the address of the old house where Rick lived with his mom. Sam didn't sleep much. His mind kept racing with memories. Angela's smile, Rick's threats, the fall that changed his life. But this time, he wasn't alone. And this time, he had something Rick didn't expect. Proof. And purpose. The next morning was colder than usual. A gray fog covered the streets. Sam walked with Leo beside him, their steps quiet, their eyes alert. Hidden inside Sam's jacket was a small mic. In his pocket, the camera's red light blinked softly, recording everything. They were headed for one of the busiest police stations in the city, and Sam was carrying more than just evidence. He was carrying years of silence, anger, and the truth. Are you sure about this? Leo asked quietly. We can't run forever, Sam replied. If the system works, it starts here. What if it doesn't? Sam looked down at the boy. Then we make them listen. Inside the station, a young officer at the front desk greeted them with a smile that didn't reach his eyes. How can I help you? We'd like to speak to someone in charge, Sam said. It's about child abuse and possible criminal activity involving Rick Grayson. The officer's face changed. The name clearly meant something. Wait here. He disappeared into the back. Sam's grip on Leo's hand tightened. We're doing the right thing, he whispered. 5 minutes passed, then 10. Finally, a tall man in a suit walked in. His name tag read Lieutenant Cross. He looked sharp, clean, calm. You're making a big claim, Mr. Sam Carter, right? And you say Rick Grayson is abusing this boy? Yes. His name is Leo. He ran away from Rick's house because of beatings. We also believe Rick may be connected to a criminal network. We have proof. Sam handed him the photo with the tattoo. Then he pointed to the recording device. Cross looked at it and smiled slightly. You brought a camera into a station? To protect ourselves, Sam replied. We've been followed, watched. We needed to be safe. I see. Cross stepped away for a moment. He whispered something to another officer. They both glanced at Sam and Leo. Sam's stomach turned. Something didn't feel right. Please wait in the side room, Cross said. We'll call someone from Child Services. No, Sam said. We're not leaving this in your hands unless I know it's going somewhere safe. Cross's face changed again. This time, it was colder. Mr. Carter, if you're not going to cooperate, we can't help you. Then give me a written record of this report, Sam said, or a badge number. Anything that proves we were here. Cross stepped closer. Are you trying to threaten me? With a camera with an abused kid you found on the street? Sam's heart sank. Leo grabbed his sleeve tightly. Let's go, Sam whispered. They turned and walked out. No one stopped them, but no one helped them either. Outside, Leo looked up with fear. They don't believe us. Worse, Sam said. They don't want to believe us. He stopped at a bench and pulled out the camera. At least now we have their reactions. People will see how they treat victims. Leo sat down, looking defeated. He's going to find us, isn't he? Sam nodded slowly. Probably. Then what do we do? Sam stared at the foggy streets. Ahead, we make noise. We go public. We use every voice we have. Back at Nina's office, Sam played the recordings for her. She watched with wide eyes as Cross's cold behavior played on screen. This is bad, she said. Really bad. But it proves something. That Rick has protection, Sam said. And that this city still lets powerful men walk free. Can we publish it? Yes, I'll do it myself. Online? By morning. Sam looked at her, exhausted but focused. We're not stopping now. Nina nodded. I'll call a friend. At the news channel. Someone honest? Leo sat in the corner, holding a crayon and drawing on an old notebook. But he listened to every word. He was no longer just a scared boy. He was part of the fight now. That night, Sam and Leo didn't go back to the bus or the storage locker. Pay stayed in Nina's office. Nina had locked every door and covered the windows. But Sam stayed awake, sitting by the window with a baseball bat in his hand. Every car that passed made his heart race, because Rick knew now, and he had nothing to lose. The next morning, Nina's blog post went live. It had photos, video clips, and a full story about Rick, the failed police help, and Sam's past. Within hours, comments poured in. People were shocked, angry, curious. Then, at noon, a local reporter from Channel 9 called. They wanted Sam and Leo on record, but Sam knew what that meant. If we go public, Rick will come out of the shadows. Nina looked at him, and that's exactly what we want, because we'll be watching. You trust this news guy? With my life? Sam turned to Leo. This is your choice too. Are you ready to tell the world what he did? Leo nodded firmly. He hurt my mom, he hurt me. I'm not afraid anymore. Sam put his arm around Leo. Then we'll do it together. But miles away, inside a large black car, Rick stared at a phone screen. He watched the blog post. He saw Leo's photo. He saw Sam's name. His hand curled into a fist. They want a war, he said. Then they'll get one. He made a call. Follow the woman, And burn everything if you have to. Because Rick wasn't going to hide anymore. Now, he was going to destroy them. The sun was just rising, its weak light spilled through the clouds, casting long shadows across the quiet street. Inside Nina's office, Sam stood in front of the mirror, fixing his jacket, checking the hidden mic one last time. Today, it would all end. You don't have to come, he told Leo. Leo looked up from his chair, his face calm but firm. Yes, I do. Sam nodded. He didn't argue, because he knew Leo needed this. He needed to face the man who broke his home and tried to break him. They took a cab to the neighborhood where Leo had once lived. Each street brought back memories. Some warm, most painful. Leo held Sam's hand tightly as they walked up to the small house with white windows and broken steps. This was it, the place where the fear had started. Sam rang the bell. Silence. He knocked again. Louder. The door opened, and there stood Rick. His smile was fake, his eyes cold. He looked first at Sam, then at Leo. Well, look who decided to visit. We're not here to play games, Sam said. We want to see her, now. Rick stepped forward. She's not home, but you just made the biggest mistake of your life. We brought proof, Sam said calmly. The world knows now. Your lies won't work anymore. Rick laughed. You think a blog post scares me? You think a few people online will stop me? I've buried better men than you. Sam didn't move. We're not afraid of you anymore. Rick's voice dropped. You should be. Suddenly, he reached behind the door and pulled something from inside a steel rod. Leo gasped. But Sam stepped in front of him. If you touch that boy again, you'll regret it. Rick pointed the rod at him. Get off my porch. Not until we speak to her. We know everything now. The photo, the tattoo, your name change, the woman who disappeared. That made Rick pause. Just for a second. You don't know anything, he growled. Sam slowly lifted his hand and tapped the small button inside. His jacket. You just told us everything we need. Rick's eyes narrowed. He realized then he was being recorded. He stepped back, face twisted in rage. This isn't over, he hissed. Then. The door behind him creaked open. A woman's voice whispered, Rick, who are you talking to? It was Leo's mom. Her face was pale, tired, a bruise on her wrist. When she saw Leo, her hand flew to her mouth. Leo. She pushed past Rick and ran forward. Baby, you're alive. I thought he said you were gone. Leo ran into her arms. I wanted to come back for you. I didn't want him to hurt you again. She began to cry, holding him tightly. Sam turned to her. Ma'am, you don't have to stay here. We have a safe place. You can come with us. But Rick grabbed her arm. She's not going anywhere. Sam stepped in. Let her go. You can't make me. That's when the sirens roared. 3 police cars pulled up on the street. Doors flew open. Officer Daniels stepped out, his badge shining. Rick Grayson, step away from them. Rick froze. Daniels walked up holding a paper in hand. We have a warrant. We've been recording your threats. You're under investigation for assault, child endangerment, and possible connection to a missing person case. Rick tried to run, but he didn't get far. 2 officers tackled him to the ground. Handcuffed, his mouth foamed with rage as he screamed, You're all fools. I'll be out by morning. You can't stop me. But no one listened. This time, his power meant nothing because the truth had come out, and everyone was watching. Later, at the station, Leo's mom gave her statement. She finally told the truth about the beatings, the threats, the fear she lived with. I stayed because I thought it was the only way to protect my son, she whispered. Sam nodded. Now you're free. Leo held her hand tightly. We're free. Daniels walked over. The story's spreading fast. Nina's blog went viral, and now that Rick's in custody, more victims are speaking up. He won't hurt anyone else, Sam said. Daniels gave him a small smile. You did good, Carter. You kept fighting, even when the system turned its back on you. Sam looked at Leo. I didn't do it alone. That night, they went back to Nina's office. It felt warmer than before. Sam sat by the window again, but this time, no bat. No fear. Just peace. Leo curled up on the couch, wrapped in a blanket. His mother sat beside him, reading him a story. Sam watched, eyes wet. He had no home, no riches. But in that small room, he found family, real, strong, unbreakable. You okay? Nina asked, handing him tea. Yeah, Sam said. For the first time in a long time, I'm okay. But while the family found peace at last, a dark file sat unopened on an officer's desk, filled with Rick's contacts, payments, and names that reached far beyond one man. The battle was won, but the war for justice was just beginning. A week had passed, but for Sam, Leo, and his mother, it felt like a lifetime. The city was talking. The story of the homeless man who saved a child had spread like wildfire. From Nina's blog to newspapers, then to television. People were shocked by the truth, angry at the silence, and moved by the courage of a man who once had nothing. But most of all, they were inspired. Because this story wasn't just about pain. It was about power. The power to rise. Sam sat on a bench in front of a small courthouse. He wore clean jeans, a simple button-up shirt, and a second-hand jacket Nina had bought for him. He looked down at his hands. They were rough, tired, but no longer shaking. Leo ran up to him with a smile. They said it's almost time. Nervous? Sam asked. Leo nodded. But I'm ready. Sam stood up, brushing the dust from his coat. Then let's go, champ. Inside the courtroom, there were no cameras. Just a judge, 2 lawyers, and a few chairs. One of those chairs was for Sam. Another was for Leo's mother. She had made a brave decision to get help, go to therapy, and start fresh for her son. But she had also asked something else. If anything happens to me, I want Sam to be Leo's legal guardian. Sam had been speechless. He wasn't rich, he wasn't perfect, but to her, and to Leo, he was enough. The judge looked at Sam over his glasses. You've taken care of this boy when no one else would. You protected him, stood up for him, even risked your own safety. Tell me, Mr. Carter, why do you want to be his guardian? Sam didn't stand tall like a hero. He spoke simply. Because I know what it's like to be forgotten, to be hurt, and I never want him to feel that again. The judge nodded slowly. Then he looked at Leo. And you, young man, do you trust Mr. Carter to care for you? Leo smiled. He's not just someone who helped me. He's my family. The room was silent. Then the judge wrote something down and said, request granted. Sam closed his eyes. He didn't cry, but inside, his heart finally let go of all the weight he'd carried for years. Outside the courtroom, Nina was waiting. She hugged them both tightly. I have more news, she said. A local nonprofit saw the story. They're offering you a job, Sam. Me. They help young men who grew up in foster care or on the streets. They want someone who understands their pain, someone who's lived it. Sam was stunned. I don't know what to say. Say yes? Leo grinned. Sam laughed. All right. Yes. Weeks passed, then months. The seasons changed, and so did everything else. Sam moved into a small apartment with Leo and his mom. She began working part-time at a local bakery. Leo started school again, this time with fresh books, new clothes, and no fear in his eyes. And Sam? He became the man he never thought he could be. He showed up at work every day. He listened to broken boys and hurting teens. He helped them like he had once helped Leo, because now he had a purpose. One afternoon, Leo brought home a school project. It was a drawing of a man with messy hair, kind eyes, and a baseball bat in his hand. Underneath it read, My hero, Sam Carter. Sam stared at the picture for a long time. Then, he placed it on the wall, not because he thought he was a hero, but because someone small, brave, and full of hope, believed he was. One evening, as they sat eating dinner, Leo asked, Do you think Rick will ever come back? Sam paused. Then he shook his head. He won't hurt us again, and if he tries, he won't win. Leo nodded. Because we're strong now. Yes, Sam said. We are. Then he added, And you're not just a survivor anymore, Leo. You're a leader. Leo smiled wide, because deep inside he knew it was true. From a park bench to a courtroom, from fear to freedom, from pain to power. Sam and Leo's story reminded the world of something we all forget sometimes, that even the broken can rise, that even the lost can lead, and that family doesn't always mean blood. Sometimes, it's found in the darkest moments, when a stranger becomes your protector, and then becomes your home.